The Rule of 10. How one straightforward principle could help you step into retirement nearly a decade ahead of many people around you. Understanding the valuable years of your later life before they quietly slip away. There is an important phase in life that countless people unintentionally waste without even noticing it. It is not the period between 20 and 30 when careers are beginning to take shape. It is not the years between 30 and 40 when families are being built and responsibilities are growing. It is actually something much more valuable: the youthful years of your senior life. This is that unique period, often between the mid-50s and early 60s, when you still have the energy, health, and flexibility to enjoy all the experiences you delayed during decades of work. Yet something surprisingly common and unfortunate happens to millions of people during this exact stage. They continue moving through life on autopilot. They keep working even after they already have enough resources to retire comfortably. They delay and postpone and keep waiting. Then one day they reach their mid-60s, finally prepared to retire, only to realize their health has started changing. The adventures they imagined no longer feel realistic physically. The goals they promised themselves now seem too demanding. The exciting retirement chapter they dreamed about becomes squeezed into whatever time remains before serious health concerns begin appearing. That outcome does not have to become your future. The difficult realities surrounding health and retirement. Let us examine several numbers that everyone thinking seriously about retirement should understand. The World Health Organization performs extensive studies involving what is known as healthy average life expectancy. This differs from overall life expectancy. Healthy life expectancy measures how many years of truly active, healthy, fully functional living the average individual is expected to experience. In the United States, that number at birth is approximately 66 years old. Pause for a moment and think carefully about that. It does not mean people pass away at 66. It means the average American experiences a major health challenge around age 66 or 67, such as heart disease, stroke, cancer, or another significant chronic condition. That timing is only a little over 1 year after the traditional retirement age of 65. In other words, if someone plans to retire at 65 expecting decades of energetic retirement afterward, statistics suggest they may have only a limited period of truly active and healthy retirement before substantial health challenges begin emerging. That is not simply an unusual statistic. It reflects a broader reality about aging and health in modern America. Of course, some individuals remain active and healthy far into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Some people are fortunate in that way. However, no one can predict ahead of time whether they will belong to that group. No one knows whether they have 5 excellent years ahead or 20. That uncertainty is exactly why thoughtful retirement timing matters so much. Family history and understanding your personal risks. General statistics matter, but personal medical history may matter even more. If your family has a history of health conditions appearing earlier in life, if parents or grandparents experienced major medical events in their 50s or 60s, that information should influence your retirement planning decisions. Many families carry strong patterns involving certain health conditions. Heart disease affects some families repeatedly across generations. Some families see repeated cases of particular cancers. Diabetes, dementia-related illnesses, and other serious conditions can also show clear family patterns. If your family history includes these concerns, assuming you will automatically enjoy decades of perfect health may not be realistic. When personal health risks are combined with broader population trends, the message becomes even more important. If you already have the financial ability to retire in your 50s and your family history suggests elevated health risks, postponing retirement until your 60s may cost you some of the healthiest and most active years you could otherwise enjoy. The Rule of 10, a practical framework for retirement timing. This is where the Rule of 10 becomes powerful. The idea is surprisingly simple while also deeply meaningful. You identify how many healthy and active years you realistically hope to experience during retirement. Then you structure your retirement timeline so you actually live those years while your health still allows you to enjoy them fully. The number 10 is not magical, although it serves as a useful benchmark. 10 healthy and active years in retirement, perhaps from age 55 to 65 or from 60 to 70, can represent a meaningful and fulfilling chapter of life. That amount of time is long enough for meaningful travel, serious hobbies, deeper family relationships, and many experiences people place on their personal goals list. It is also a realistic target for many individuals, even those with family health concerns. But here is the critical point. Those 10 years do not automatically appear simply because you retire someday. You gain those years by retiring strategically at an age that still allows you to enjoy them, while you remain healthy enough to fully participate in life. Why many financial advisors misunderstand retirement timing. After decades of observing retirement planning and seeing countless people make these decisions, one thing becomes obvious. Most retirement planning conversations focus almost entirely on money. Do you have enough savings? Can your investments support your lifestyle? What withdrawal rate should you use? What do simulations suggest about long-term success? These are valid questions. Financial security absolutely matters, but they are not the only questions that matter. The more important question is this: how can you organize your finances in a way that allows you to experience the healthiest and most energetic years of your later life while you still have them? This disconnect between traditional financial planning and real-life priorities often encourages people to continue working longer than necessary. Financial advisors frequently design plans using extremely cautious assumptions. They aim to provide the highest possible level of certainty. They want to minimize the chance of someone ever running out of money, even during difficult economic scenarios. That approach is understandable, but it can also unintentionally encourage people to sacrifice years of healthy retirement. It often leads people to work much longer than they truly need to based on their actual financial and health situations. The million-dollar retirement myth and other misunderstandings. Before discussing how to apply the rule of 10, several common retirement myths deserve attention because they keep many people working longer than necessary. Myth number 1: you need $1 million before retiring. This belief has become extremely widespread. Many people repeat the phrase almost automatically. They assume retirement is impossible without reaching that number. But the reality is different. Only a relatively small percentage of Americans retire with $1 million saved. If $1 million were truly required, most people would never retire at all. Yet people retire successfully every year with much less. Your actual retirement needs depend on your lifestyle, your living costs, your family circumstances, your location, and your personal priorities. The real question is not whether you have reached some symbolic financial milestone. The real question is whether your income sources, including Social Security, pensions, investments, or part-time work, can reasonably support your actual living expenses. Those are very different questions, and they lead to very different conclusions. Myth number 2: the 4% rule is absolute truth. The well-known 4% rule became popular after research suggested that withdrawing roughly 4% from an investment portfolio during the first year of retirement, while adjusting for inflation afterward, would historically provide an extremely high chance of long-term financial success over several decades. This research was valuable and important. However, many people misunderstand what it truly means. A near certain probability of never running out of money represents a very cautious approach. It is similar to preparing for every imaginable possibility during a simple weekend hiking trip. In many situations, slightly higher withdrawal rates may still produce highly successful outcomes. A person using a 5% withdrawal rate might still have a strong probability of success depending on circumstances. The important point is that the 4% rule is a guideline, not an unbreakable law. Understanding probability of success and what it really means. This leads to another major misunderstanding in retirement planning. Many people misunderstand the meaning of probability of success. When financial planners run simulations using different market conditions, inflation levels, and investment returns, they may say someone has an 80% or 95% probability of success. Many individuals interpret this incorrectly. It does not mean there is a 95% chance everything will be perfect and a 5% chance of complete financial disaster. Real life is far more flexible than that. What it actually means is that under most scenarios, a person may never need to adjust their plan at all. Under less favorable conditions, they may need to make modest changes. Perhaps they delay a large vacation for a year. Perhaps they reduce discretionary spending temporarily. Perhaps they work part-time for a short period while investments recover. Retirement is not a rigid system. It resembles a pilot adjusting an airplane during landing. The pilot constantly makes small corrections. If the aircraft drifts slightly, adjustments are made smoothly and continuously. Retirement works the same way. Most people make occasional adjustments over time. An 80% success probability does not mean disaster is waiting around the corner. It usually means there is a reasonable chance small adjustments may eventually become necessary. The real cost of excessive caution in retirement planning. Here is one of the most important insights of all. There is complete certainty that delaying retirement for additional safety often costs people some of their healthiest years. Imagine someone could retire at 58 with a reasonably strong financial plan. Alternatively, they could continue working until 62 to gain an even higher level of financial certainty. What is the cost of those extra years of work? The cost may be 4 healthy years that can never be recovered. 4 years of experiences postponed, 4 years of travel delayed, 4 years of enjoying grandchildren while still energetic enough to actively participate in their lives, 4 years spent tied to schedules and obligations instead of personal freedom. Whether that trade-off is worthwhile depends entirely on the individual, but it is the correct question to ask, and many retirement plans fail to address it honestly, applying the rule of 10 in your own life. So how can someone realistically use the rule of 10? How do you move from understanding the concept to making actual decisions? Step 1. Evaluate your likely health trajectory honestly. Speak openly with health professionals about your family history, medical risks, and overall health outlook. No one can predict exact outcomes, but you can gain a clearer understanding of personal risk factors. If close relatives experience serious health conditions earlier in life, recognize that reality when planning. If you already have health concerns, understand what future limitations could realistically develop. This is not about fear or negativity. It is about informed planning. Step 2. Define your own healthy retirement window. Once you understand your personal risks, decide which years you most want to protect. For one person, that may be ages 55 through 65. For another, it could be 60 through 70. The specific numbers matter less than the intention. These are the years you want to experience with energy, mobility, and independence. Once you identify that window, you can shape your financial goals around protecting it. Step 3. Work backward to determine your ideal retirement age. If you want your healthy retirement years to begin at 58, then your plan should aim for retirement at 58. If you want that stage to begin at 60, then that becomes your target. This creates clarity. Your savings goals, investment choices, and financial decisions can now support a specific purpose instead of an arbitrary retirement age. Step 4. Determine whether your financial situation supports that target. Once your desired retirement age becomes clear, examine the financial side realistically. If your resources already support your target, excellent. If not, several paths remain available. You may increase savings more aggressively. You may consider part-time work during early retirement. You may reduce future lifestyle expectations slightly. Or you may adjust your retirement age modestly upward. The key difference is intentionality. You are making conscious decisions while understanding both the financial and personal costs involved. Building flexibility instead of chasing perfect certainty. After choosing your retirement target age and confirming the numbers generally work, your focus can shift away from maximizing certainty toward building resilience and flexibility. This approach may involve maintaining several income sources during retirement: Social Security, pension income, part-time work, consulting, or rental income can all provide stability. You may also choose to keep larger cash reserves so you are not forced to sell investments during unfavorable markets. You can identify spending categories that could temporarily be reduced if needed. Rather than assuming everything must remain fixed forever, you create adaptable plans. Some people also intentionally keep part-time work available as a flexible option rather than seeing it as failure. There is a significant emotional difference between choosing occasional work and feeling trapped into working unexpectedly. These strategies may not dramatically increase simulation scores, but they can make real-life retirement much easier to manage. The emotional side of retiring earlier. There is also an emotional aspect to earlier retirement that financial calculations rarely capture. Retiring at 58 instead of 62 is not only about money or calendar years, it is about entering retirement while still excited, energetic, and physically capable. It means beginning a new chapter while you still feel eager to experience it fully instead of waiting until years of additional work leave you exhausted. There is also a social component. Most people follow conventional timelines. Many retire around 65 or later. Those who retire earlier often gain opportunities to enjoy activities while they still have stronger health and energy. Addressing the fears that prevent earlier retirement. Despite understanding these ideas, many individuals still feel intense fear about retiring earlier. The most common fear involves money. People worry they may not have enough savings, even when evidence suggests they are financially prepared. Another common fear involves identity. Many individuals define themselves primarily through work. Retirement can feel emotionally uncertain because it changes that identity. Some fear boredom. Yet many retirees eventually discover they have more meaningful activities than they expected. Others fear judgment from friends or society. They worry people may view early retirement negatively. These concerns are real and deserve honest reflection. Understanding which fears affect you personally can help clarify what changes would make you feel more comfortable. The ultimate retirement decision. Eventually, after considering finances, health risks, family history, and emotional concerns, every person faces an important choice. Do you prioritize maximum financial certainty, even if it costs several healthy years? Or do you prioritize enjoying the healthiest years of later life while accepting some uncertainty? There is no universal answer. Some people genuinely enjoy working longer. Others may have exceptional health prospects or strong reasons to continue their careers. But many people, if they honestly believe they had enough resources, would likely choose more freedom sooner rather than later. The rule of 10 exists to encourage intentional decisions instead of automatic assumptions, moving forward with purposeful retirement planning. The first step is having an honest conversation with yourself about what kind of retirement you truly want. Not what culture expects, not what other people recommend, what genuinely matters to you. If your goal includes a decade of healthy and active retirement years, then that outcome deserves intentional planning. Work backward from the life you hope to experience. Determine the age when you want that chapter to begin. Evaluate whether your finances can support it, then make thoughtful adjustments to move toward that goal. The alternative is drifting through life, assuming there will always be more time later, only to discover eventually that the healthiest years have already passed. Many people unintentionally follow that path. Do not allow yourself to do the same. Your senior years, especially the years when you still have health, freedom, and energy, are incredibly valuable. The rule of 10 is simply a framework designed to help protect those years.